What is up, guys? Welcome back to Rip City Rundown. And this was going to be just a draft preview podcast, but we are now breaking news. Anfernee Simons has just been traded to the Boston Celtics, along with 2 second-round picks for Jrue Holiday. Was not expecting this on Monday, June 23rd at 9 o'clock Pacific time. Truly not on my bingo card whatsoever. Anfernee Simons and Damian Lillard both get traded, with Jrue Holiday being the centerpiece. Not on my bingo card, like I said. First thoughts, Wes. Just I have to imagine it's just kind of shocking, weird.
I want to hear Cody's thoughts first.
My thoughts first. Oh, I have so much to say. Longest tenured Blazer, second time getting Jrue Holiday in the last few years. Welcome back, Jrue. I don't know if you'll play a game this time, but we'll see. A lot to talk about. Graduate from college back in Oregon for the foreseeable future. Little dog there in the background. Dude, this is crazy. I cannot believe this trade just went down. We just recorded a little TikTok session, and now we're just hopping right back on the microphone here about to talk about this. Shocked. Celtics are one of my favorite teams, though. Will be fun to watch him there.
I mean, what's crazy is as we're recording this, more news is coming out. I mean, first thought was, okay, weird. Gotta imagine we flip a Jrue like we did last time, because he fits the team positionally, but kind of age-wise. I mean, he's 35. He just turned 35. Like,
what is the deal specifically?
So, I mean, it's Anfernee and a 2030 Knicks second and a 2031 Blazers second. So the seconds are really irrelevant. It's really just Anfernee for Jrue straight up. But I mean, Anfernee's on the last year of his deal. Drew's going to be making $37 million in 2027, 2028. And I'm seeing news from Jake Fisher that says there was interest in Jrue Holiday from Sacramento, Dallas, and others. The plan for now is definitely for Portland to keep the veteran point guard as the Blazers look to compete in the Western Conference. I've seen some wondering whether or not Portland would flip him. That's odd. It's odd. It's a weird trade that I feel like, first glance, I don't love, because of just the money Drew's going to be making and the age he is. Now, for all we know, Anfernee might have not had a lot of value in general, which he probably didn't. I mean, most of the guys we want to trade, the Jeremys, the DAs, the Anfernees, probably don't have a lot of value. But like, all right, Wes, I haven't heard your thoughts. Lay it out. Well, what are you thinking?
Well, I think if you had, and maybe this playoff run just where you have so much recency bias with Jrue, but I think we would have been happy for a lot of Simons for Jrue straight up, essentially, is what you said. Is that not good? I mean, I get it doesn't fit with timeline, but I think the piece that we got to understand here is to me, it's a little to me, I feel like Simons hit his ceiling.
Yeah, fair.
Great player, but if Dame couldn't win a championship as one of the better players on the team, Simons definitely can't. So to me, I feel like you got to give Scoot the runway. And that doesn't mean Scoot's going to be good, but you invested Scoot so much to the point that Dame left. So you got to see what you have with Scoot. And I think Jrue can be I know we mentor and all that. And I'm thinking out loud here with the money thing is I feel like GMs have jobs for a reason. Now, I'm not saying they're all good. Obviously, some are better than others, but there's a reason why Cronin, he didn't just be like, oh wow, I had no idea that Jrue Holiday was on a 4-year deal. I shouldn't have traded for him. There's a reason why we're doing that. I don't know. My optimism self wants maybe it's now we can clear cap space when we're really competing in 3 years, or maybe we flip him and he's an expiring and we do what Boston's doing now. He makes a lot of money and he's old. Those are two obvious things. But for the people that think we're going to get Jrue Holiday and draft capital for Simons, need to get their head out of the sand. That was never going to happen.
Cole, you said you mentioned that Jrue we don't plan on flipping him, he's going to be potentially on the roster. That really piqued my interest because, championship teams value Jrue. And when you are a championship team, you value any players you can get. You're going to, you're going to overpay, essentially. So that's like kind of what we did when we did flip Jrue the first time.
Yeah,
And now the
facts.
second time, it's like, why would we not do this again? Do we really think Jrue's going to elevate our team that much to become title contenders? Because I'm sorry, but even
No,
how good Jrue is, we're not even close to that.
it's one of those trades. The Blazers are in a weird spot now. It's like we're telling them we want them to compete, but then when they make a move like this, we're like, why would you trade the young guy for a guy that's going to help you win now? So like, I can't be mad at Cronin for making a move that's going to make it, assuming we keep Jrue. That is ideally for this specific season a great fit for the starting lineup.
Now question. Can I ask something quick?
Go ahead.
So we've always talked about Scoot, Simons, Shaden, like one was going to have to go.
Yeah.
You were never going to get rid of Scoot. It was probably Shaden or Simons, and I think Shaden has more potential than Simons if he hits. And he's in year 4, so like we're not like it's not all sunshine and roses over on Sharp Mountain, right? But if Ant was kind of always going to be the odd man out, like why not just like I do you think we could have like traded Ant for an even younger, more exciting piece? Like I feel like for a team that's so young, like just think about this. Again, like Jrue is older, so I mean, he's not 2018 locking up Dame or anything, but it's still like Jrue, Tumani, and Klingon, bro. Like
no, I'm saying like if this is our team next year,
that defense
making
and you know
weird
what?
changes on the edge, like
wow.
I think now you're setting the expectation like, okay, now the expectation is to win. And by win, I don't mean go win 50 games, but I mean you make the plan. If you're trading for Jrue and you're not making the plan, that probably means like Scoot or Sharp were like not good at all. But it's just like what I'm saying is like if this doesn't result in like keeping the train moving exponentially like at an increase, then like if you are mid in 3 years and Jrue's on your roster at $38 million at 38 years old, like that's going to be like
that's
just as what we're looking at the Jeremy Grant deal right now. It's like that's really bad.
So I understand this isn't even these players aren't comparable, but they both have 2 championships. No one in Houston is saying this about KD. Like they just fast tracked their rebuild. Like what if KD's really old too? Like
yeah,
what
because
Houston does the same
Houston
thing.
at least has proven they've got a star they can star. I mean, Sengun and Thompson are miles better than a Shaden and Scoot. Like they were 2 seed. That's a totally different world.
And I think the whole like, what do you think the point? Do you think the point of trading Simons was to contend now, or because like this whole rebuild, like we said, is kind of built on Scoot, and as long as Simons is in Portland, you are not going to get to see like honestly now if Scoot fails this year, that's honestly better than just kicking the can another year to me. Like now, it's like if he's bad this year, like now I'm like, let's just draft the best guard or the best player in the 26th draft.
You know, looking at our team next season, and just with the addition of Jrue, assuming he does play, this defense is insane. You have Denny Tumani, DeAndre Ayton, Scoot, Jrue Holiday. I mean, that is sick. And since January 2025, I don't have the exact numbers. Basically, West, I don't know if you knew this, we were a top 20 defense this year, despite starting very bad. And sorry, we ended at 15. We were dead center. Since January, that is way higher. So my point is we were a great defensive team last year. So we're going to get even better now. But the problem I have looking forward of this team construction is the three-point shooting. Anfernee Simons is the go-to scorer. He's the guy who can bail you out on 28 a night when other people aren't hitting their shots. And although Jrue's a great three-point shooter, I think of him as more of like he's going to make his wide-open shots. He can't, I guess, create himself. So I guess that's like an interesting black hole to look into next season, potentially. Our three-point creation, our offense.
I think it's very – I think you would be creating like – you're just setting yourself up for failure and like – or being upset at the team if you think like this is going to vault us into like competing. It's not. And also just with these trades, there's so much nuance to it. It's like, yes, Jake Fisher is reporting that. Is Cronin putting that out there? So now maybe teams like who want Jrue are now gonna, is this a leverage play, or are we actually gonna keep him? Because people say that all the time, like we want to keep him, and then Houston's like, oh gosh, we got to pry him now. We got to maybe.
I totally think there's a world where we end up flipping Jrue, and then we cross that bridge when we get there.
At
if
the
it's a
deadline,
good return,
for example, give him half a year to mentor Scoot and give him to Houston at the deadline.
I just think that it's a very risky trade to trade for a guy that is making that, like, you're looking at 3 bad contracts on the team now in Jeremy. I just fear that in a year from now, Jrue might be on the team, and sure, we might get the 10 seed, but a year from now, we're like, ooh, we're going to have to attach assets to get rid of Jrue. Like, it's just...
Well, I mean, that's what
from the Celtics perspective, this is obviously I feel like this is a great trade because you get out of the Jrue contract, because they probably weren't wanting to trade Jrue or
but you're
pay
getting
Jrue
worse.
that much.
I think you're getting worse.
Yeah, it's interesting.
You're definitely getting worse this year, but you're also, first off, they had to make a move to get under
the whole thing. It's like, if Simons is worse than Jrue and they don't want to re-sign him, now we're back to are you going to stay with Jrue if you're the Celtics, or are you going to now hopefully build through the draft, which you might never find another Jrue, which is what you guys have said about Dame for the past 20 freaking years.
Just looking at it from the Celtics perspective, sorry, I just had to change my device here. It doesn't make sense from the Celtics perspective to me, because Jrue Holiday, he's a unique guard that's just really good on defense, and you're trading for someone who can just shoot the 3, and you already have Derek White, Jaylen Brown. I know Tatum's not playing. Porzingis chucking. You have Peyton Pritchard off the bench, so it's like, I don't know. It's kind of an awkward trade from the Celtics perspective, in my opinion.
Yeah, the main reason the Celtics are doing it, at least just from like the trading Jrue perspective, is just because, like, I don't think they literally, unless they wanted to pay some huge tax, they were over the second apron, so they had to shed money, and they definitely wanted to get off the Jrue contract. That was always the move after this season, especially since they didn't win anything. Like, they're trying to trade Porzingis still, just because they're trying to trade their, for lack of a better word, bad contracts. Now Simons, I don't think fits with them either. So like, they're obviously happy with their trade, and I'm sure Celtics fans are too, because it's like, you just do a nice 1-year test run with Simons, and if you don't like him, you move on, and you did what you wanted to do. They're more so just taking a flyer on Simons. Like, they probably were fine just moving off of Holiday in any way. So I just think, from like, if you just take everything out of it, if you're just talking about just like literally player for player, and even keeping age as a factor, I think it's fine. I think, yeah, what you said, Simons hit his peak. It's just like, what is it? Holiday's 35, Simons I think is 25, 26, like a 9-year difference. Like, it's just, you don't see players that are 35. Like, Jrue Holiday's obviously just going to get worse over time, and he's probably got 1, maybe 2 seasons left in him at anywhere near the level that he's playing at right now. And again, like, I just know for a fact in 2 years, if we're not flipping him now, which again is a totally possible thing, even with reports saying we're not, I just fear in 2 years it's like, we're going to just be talking about how bad of a contract this is. Just like when we signed Jeremy Grant, we were like, it's fine, we have to do it. Like, you got to pay the money, but like, it's 2 years is not a long time, and we're already talking about how Jeremy is a bad contract. So
quick question for both of you. How good to an NBA casual fan, not a Blazer fan perspective, is Anfernee Simons really? I mean,
That's
I know he's been on our team for 5 years. I mean, I know this is kind of a stupid analogy, but like, you look at like NBA 2K ratings, and he's like an 82 overall, and there are a lot of 82 overall players in the NBA.
So like,
that the NBA guy is gonna say, oh, he's better than Simons, but us Blazer fans are gonna be like, of course Simons better than this guy.
So, I mean, I think there are casual NBA fans that think Malik Monk's better than Simons.
Yeah, I definitely think Simons' value was highest when he just broke onto the scene. But now that he's played 2-3 seasons at kind of the same level and not really taken a step ever, value's not that high. Again, that's the only thing that's like really making me like, oof. And here's the other thing, and it's the elephant in the room, and it's the risk that Joe Cronin has to take. And like, if it doesn't work, then it's a stain on his time as a GM. He's doing this because he's opening the door for the people he drafted, Sharp and Scoot, because he believes that that is the future. And this is going to be a great trade, and we'll look back on it with happy memories if Scoot or Sharp go off this year and prove that they're going to be a starting future guard for this team. I was going to say all-star caliber. I'll say if they're a top 15 at their position player, if they can prove they are going to be on the team for 10 years, then it's going to be great. But like,
look
if
at the
they
Pacers.
suck, this is going to suck. Like, and
just look at the
that
Pacers.
sucks.
Just look at I said, just look at the Pacers. Like, we're not asking Scoot to be Kyrie. We're asking him to be we're asking Sharp to be Nimhard. Again, with like the new like CBA, it's like the way you build a championship team is not through like max slots and big threes anymore. Like, Boston's having to trade because of that. It's now going to be like depth. Like, why was Houston the 2 seed? Like, same reason.
Exactly.
Incredible depth.
And
like, look at the Lakers. What happened to the Lakers when you're top heavy like that?
2 big names, yeah. You know, side note, our whole time as a podcast, that finals matchup, those role players, Miles Turner, Siakam, Halliburton, Lou Dort, those are just players that we just have mentioned so often about, oh, we should trade for this guy. Oh, we should trade for this guy. That's why. To get players like that, you don't need Suns. You don't need to do what the Suns did and get Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, Bradley Beal.
And my argument back to that is just like, if Jrue Holiday was 30, I'd be like, yeah, this is. But like, Jrue Holiday's not going to see winning basketball with the Blazers probably.
Okay. Would you agree that if we traded Jrue before he's like cooked, he gets a better return than Simons?
Probably not. Because I think that no one wants to take on the contract. Like, we see what Drew's value is. Drew's value is a Simons type player.
I mean, honestly, this trade just reminds me of the Nurk and Ayton trade. It's like, we got the better player, but like, it comes at a cost. It's like, Ayton's expensive.
But Ayton's younger though. That's different.
Yeah, and like,
I mean,
I mean, my question.
I guess I just like don't know what you guys like. What's the like? What do you want? And like, instead of just like,
first off, if you're trading, another thing is you're trading Simons because you want to open up backcourt space. Like, if Drew's on the team, he's playing 30 minutes. So then is Sharp and Shaden just gonna be splitting time? Like, it's the same thing. You
guard, so
exactly like you're just giving Simons minutes to another player. Like,
so what do you want?
Like you're opening the backcourt.
You are giving more shots to Scoot and Shaden and less shots because Simons originally would be taking the most shots.
Okay, that's a good point.
So that's a fair point to mention real quick.
You definitely are losing like creation.
And like, is Jrue going to even handle the ball, bro? Like, Denny and Scoot are going to be on the floor. Like, Jrue is like, I envision Jrue. I don't even think. I don't know. We'll have to see, but because there's like there is an argument. It's like, why are you trading for him if you're not going to start him at this point in his career?
Dude, where does? Yeah, it's just
I guess
Jrue is a. Here's what I don't know what I want. Okay, well here's what I want. Basically, Jrue is a win now player. Okay, championship teams would pay for him this year, and we could get a lot of draft capital in that. A young player that could potentially be a star, whatever. It's just like, what doesn't make sense about this trade for me is we are not to that step yet. We're not going to compete. Even if all goes perfect, we're not going to compete next year. We're just not. We're not going to be a championship caliber team next year, no matter what. So it's just like, to me, it doesn't really make sense to keep him because in 2 years, even if everything went perfect, just absolutely perfect, all the pieces fell, and we're a championship caliber team, 37-year-old Jrue making $39 million is just not going to cut it.
That's where I'm at.
I mean, we can agree to disagree, but I don't think we're keeping Jrue for the duration of his contract. I don't know if
But
you
my
guys
thing is
think
like,
the same thing, but it's all. Yeah, I know what your thing is. Yeah, you said it a lot. I know.
like,
Yeah,
sure, you can say we're not going to keep him, but like, it's just going to be like
but just like
more likely than not, it's just going to be a pain in the butt to deal with in 2 years.
right,
And
but you're going
is
off
the
what
things
Jake
you're
Fisher
getting for
said,
these 2
man.
years now
Like
even worth it?
you're going off what one guy said on Twitter.
What do you?
Like,
Okay, yeah. If we flip him, it's a totally different conversation. But we can't even think about that right now, like because he's on our team. Like,
If we
Okay.
were to
If we-
flip him, guys, who would you want, or what would you want?
I'm just saying, would you? Okay, the market for Jrue is way bigger than Simons. I think that's very fair to say.
Okay.
at the current
So-
moment, I'd agree. Yeah,
So
Do
how
you-
many teams? It's like how many teams in the next calendar year would love to have Jrue Holiday on their team as that like piece? I'll tell you, I can name 5 teams immediately.
here's the reason why I just
Timberwolves
like
would love Jrue Holiday.
if we don't flip him by the start of this season, I don't believe the value for him will be good, nor do I think the trade might actually happen, because we've been talking about this for the longest time with guys like Jeremy, Robert Williams, Brogdon for the longest time, and we did end up flipping him for Denny, but I mean it wasn't because of Brogdon, it was the picks. But like what I'm saying is like it isn't 2K. So when you trade for a player, most of the time you're not going to be able to flip him for a better value. Like value goes down over time. Look at KD. Like it's just an example of just like I'm sure when they traded for KD, they were like, "Oh, if this doesn't work out, we can get out of it in 2 years." But value goes down so fast, and age is a real thing. Like
I understand that, but like I said, Jrue Holiday is more valuable than Anfernee Simons in the sense that there are way more Anfernee Simonses in the NBA than there are Jrue Holidays, even at 36 or 37. And so
I
there are
just
more
think that
teams.
if you are definitely correct for right now, like his value is so much higher. But in 2 years, Anfernee Simons' value is going to be so much higher than a
You think?
38-year-old Jrue Holiday. Like literally, how many guards have actually been good at the age of 38? Like,
Not a lot.
look at Chris Paul when he got traded from the Suns. He was 38, got traded to the Warriors, and he got traded for nothing. Like,
Westbrook
just like-
is 38.
and literally
something.
2 years before or a year before, Chris Paul was starting on a 64-win Suns team. And it's like, you probably weren't going to foresee his value being that low. Like, no one thought KD's value was going to be as low as it was. And
Well, they could have
especially
gotten
last year.
double that in Minnesota, but KD has to have a list of 3 teams he can only go to because he's earned that right, apparently.
Yeah, I guess.
I mean,
I mean, the Timberwolves offered Gobert, Rob Dillingham, DiVincenzo, and a first. I think that's a little better than Green and Brooks in the
Guys,
first.
what was the Gobert package like 2 years ago? Wasn't it like
5 first.
5 first? Because yeah, I mean, markets move. Like
honestly,
it's like
I
the
don't know.
thing where like people are like, Bane got traded for 4 firsts and Luka only got traded for 1. Yeah, because Anthony Davis was included in that.
Well, since we're not contending next year, I think flipping him for our organization would be the best move. And if that were to happen, I guess you're just getting more draft capital. I don't think, and then that draft capital can possibly pay for that
It's
star.
just the contract, man. It's just like, that's such a bad thing to have on your team, especially 3 years from now when we're probably trying to compete. Like, that could be such a major anchor to the team.
That's
like,
true.
If he
And
was on a
you know what?
2-year deal,
Oh.
it'd be different.
Honestly, you're right. Joe Cronin probably hasn't thought about that at all. Like,
I mean,
I'm sure he thought about it, bro.
well, did he think about it when we signed Jeremy to a 5-year deal? Like, this is a thing that
Well, guess
clearly
what? He
is something
signed Jeremy because Dame wanted him to stay, and then Dame requested 4 days later.
Well, do you think when he traded for DeAndre Ayton, he was thinking like,
I need to get
something-
away from Nurkic as fast as possible? Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I just like, this is now the third player that we've gotten that are.
And he insisted on who to be in that trade? Jumani.
Okay.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm just gonna make a point.
Just clean up when you're done, Wes. Just, it's all right.
No, I'm actually gonna come at you because literally people like need to. I'm sorry, but the God, like Blazers fans in general on Twitter, especially, bro, they're always so freaking negative. It's like everyone. It's like it just if you're gonna get all your information from Twitter, like obviously you're just gonna have the same opinion. You have valid concerns.
Yeah.
Yeah, if Jrue Holiday is 38, getting paid 38 million, that is whatever his contract is. I saw it's big. That's bad, but. And Cody, you said the best move for the franchise would be to flip him. I agree. I personally don't think it's a necessity to do it before the season starts, but where I will agree with, where I will meet in the middle with you guys is Joe Cronin has not shown a capability to trade these big contracts because his asking price is just,
And it's probably just
he
hard.
hasn't been budging. Well,
No.
you can trade. He could trade Jeremy tomorrow, but he'd lose the trade.
Yeah, objectively, it's like it's a hard position to be in. I'm not saying like he should be. I'm not getting mad at him because he's like, oh my gosh, how are you not trading Jeremy right now? I
on
know
the flip
it's
side,
hard.
it's like I just feel like I feel like hating this trade is kind of talking off out of both sides of the mouth from people. It's because like we were like Simons needs to be traded.
Yeah.
And like
That's true. The job is done. We were saying
job,
for literally
like,
2 years, Simons, Sharp, Scoot.
like
Or 1
would
year.
we
One of
have
them's
been
got to go.
would we have been happier if it was Jet Howard and Cole Anthony? Like I don't think I would.
Yeah, probably. That's where it's like I gotta think. Like I just don't know. I just like feel like.
I think he's getting flipped, guys. I'm not gonna lie. It just doesn't make sense.
And here's the worst. The worst part is like this would be such a better trade if like I was confident in the guards we have, but like I'm not confident that Shaden or Scoot are going to be good. That's the thing that sucks.
Point,
it's
though.
like
Would
you
you
just traded the only guy that can show he can score 20 points a game.
You want to learn this year, or you want to learn next year? Like how we gonna keep kicking this can?
Yeah,
like,
but like I think I'm also
That's
kind of
fair.
out on the idea that like, oh my gosh, Scoot has to have Simons off the team for him to prove he's good. Like if we knew, like we know Scoot was really good if he was really good right now. Like,
did we know how good Dame was until Aldridge left?
Yeah, we
yeah.
did. We definitely did. Yeah, we
Yeah.
did.
He averaged like 20 something with Aldridge and hit a pretty big shot. And I think we knew he was pretty
We knew he was him.
elite.
So,
Okay.
I mean,
I don't think that's true, but okay.
I mean, we could pull up Dame's stats here too. I think they were pretty good.
I think we
He might have been
we knew he
24.
was-
I'm not even joking.
But-
No, not that high, but
there's a
I mean, you can check.
I don't
that
know if that's
quick.
like the best argument to go down. But
It's fine. I
Look.
mean, whatever. I just think like if y'all are gonna bitch, then like have a better alternative.
No, I'm
Well,
not.
yeah,
I think.
okay, well,
I think.
Because I literally said
Dame
like,
was a two-time All-Star, and Scoot we're like so happy when he doesn't turn the ball over 5 times and scores 20. Like it's totally different stratospheres here. Like
okay, like I said, what's your alternative? Like, what would you have rather gotten?
my
for
alternative
Simons?
was I would have rather traded Simons for something that isn't going to hinder the team in 2 years.
Okay, so yeah, well,
And also, I'd rather open the door. Like, if we're going to open the backcourt, let's actually open the backcourt and not bring in a guy that's going to play 30, 35 minutes because he's a great player. Like,
That's fair. Yeah.
you're going to
okay.
you're going to have to still close games with one of Scoot or Sharp
I know.
not on the floor, most likely.
I know I sound a little negative, and I am a little bit, maybe on Cole's side. However, I genuinely think if we flip him for draft capital, that's completely like thumbs up for Joe Cronin. I think that. Like,
I mean,
draft capital in 3 years, or not that long. We're gonna be better than that in 3 years. We're in like 1.5, 2 years. It's gonna be so valuable if we can just get draft capital. And there are
Yeah.
teams that will pay so much money for that guy because they're trying to compete right now, and we're not.
yeah.
I don't know. I feel like draft cap. Yeah, I mean it's very valuable, but like Bane's 4 firsts are like the equivalent of the Bucks first in 2029, because the Magic are going to be picking 26 for the next 5 years. So I'm just saying,
Wait,
like,
they're the
draft
same as the
capital,
Bucks.
yeah.
I thought the Bucks pick is great. I thought.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like the Bucks pick we have is worth like the 4 firsts of the Magic. Like, would you rather have 4 26 overalls or 1 top 3 pick.
Yeah,
I mean, who cares what that is? But I'm just saying, like, I just think I don't think Joe Cronin traded for Jrue Holiday for him to be making $38 million when he's 38. And if you think that, look, and if that's what you think, that is an opinion, and there's no point in arguing that because that's just your opinion at the end of the day.
I agree,
so
but
don't try to convince me.
I don't think Joe Cronin's able to sit here and say like, "Oh, I mean, this is fine. We're going to get him when he's good, but as soon as he's bad, we're going to be able to trade him." Like, that's just not how it works. That's how we thought about Robert Williams, and that didn't happen.
Like Jeremy Grant, we got him all excited.
Robert Williams
held on to Jeremy Grant too long, and now he is. We're going to lose the trade badly once we have to trade him. DeAndre Ayton, we get him high money again, just like Jeremy Grant. Same trends, just not living up to par, up to standards. Robert Williams, I'll give him a pass because he's injured, but essentially same thing. But he's not making that much money, so that's not the best comparison. So this would be, the third time in a row where we're bringing in a super expensive guy who, is a concern. Yeah. This time is age, not Jeremy, which is age a little bit, but mostly.
Like if I was the Rockets and I made this deal, I'd be so happy because the Rockets are like
exactly
much closer to competing. They've at least made the playoffs, and they were the 2 seed. But like the Blazers have not even we haven't even won anything yet, so it's just like I don't know. I'm not mad at the deal whatsoever. I'm just
yes, you are
calling questions. I'm not saying we could have got.
The questions are fair, but I just I'm like. The Blazers haven't done anything with Simons, so like, we traded him, and we traded him.
I'm sure there had to have been an offer out there where you probably could have gotten like the thing you came up with, the Jet Howard, Cole Anthony, and probably like a second or something. Like that's like, would you rather have Jrue Holiday helping your team get to the 8th seed? Or would you rather just kind of not have any money on the books and have more flexibility going forward? It's just one of those where it's like, how worth it is the next 3 years of Jrue? That's the question.
Glad our mindset is evolving here because for the past 10 years, it's been worth it to have a really good guard getting us to the 8th seed.
Yeah, it depends. Okay, how good are we gonna be next year? You guys got to give a prediction. On this.
I don't care.
I need
if you don't have to be good.
You don't
until we are good. I do not care.
No,
okay, but like if the Blazers are the 11 seed next year, like, do you look at this trade differently?
Yes. Here's the thing: you guys got
no.
You guys have saw the Blazers in the beginning of the 2024 season. The beginning of the 2024 season, we were pretty mid. We were pretty bad actually. 2025, you saw the defense. You saw the games. You saw the 8-game winning streak. You saw all this. You saw the games that we lost because we were tanking and pulled guys in the fourth quarter. You saw this momentum we have building. Our young guys developing. You saw Denny last year. You saw Tumani get the second all defense, right? Second team all defense. So with Jrue Holiday, generally, how do you think we would perform next year with him on our roster or off? We flip him for capital. Because I think we're on an upward trajectory here.
Even before any of these trades, if our roster was the same, I literally would have been like, I would really like to make the plan next year. Like, let's keep making steps in a rebuild. Now, if you keep a guy that's like still probably close to all NBA caliber defender, then like I would be very disappointed if we didn't make the plan. Because that just means something's going wrong, whether that's Jrue's over the hill or that's like one of Scoot or Scoot and Shaden like aren't doing anything.
Like, are we a top 10 team in the West? Because the West is deep.
I mean, at some point we got to be. We can't keep kicking the can down the road on being good.
No one is.
Bro, we were good at the end of last season.
Like, what the hell? Like, no one is kicking the. We're not the Wizards here.
You're definitely.
I feel like the rebuild has been pretty solid.
It has been, but at some point again, you have to win. If you don't win this year, then that is saying that the guys you have in your roster are probably like this. The Scoot, the Shadens are definitely probably not good enough to be on this team going forward, and they are probably
I think this is.
And you know what? I am glad I will finally find that out.
Yeah, this is a make or break year for that tandem, honestly. At this point,
I mean, I think so too. They're getting I
I
mean,
mean, I feel like they'd have to be pretty historically bad. Like Shaden, if he does what he did last year, he'll be like, he probably got hurt or something.
yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
just
just
love
think like
Denny and Tumani, man.
we've been told by the people we get our news from that we were gonna trade Simons. Like no one ever saw Jrue Holiday coming back. So of course you're like, that's weird. And then you just, that immediately go. I don't know. Like, how do you quantify what Jrue is going to bring to this team from a non-basketball
I'm
standpoint?
gonna pull up his stats last year.
Guess what? I told Cole this. He shot 39% from three. Simon shot 36. Simon's on way more volume. And Drew's like getting wide open corner threes because they take 50 a game, but still, like this dude's not a bum. And the defense is not even comparable.
All right, I'm gonna read some stats from his.
And it's like what you said, Cole. You can't just trade someone for someone better. This isn't 2K.
Yeah, you're just running. It's just such a risky trade because it's like you are now just like each passing month, you're just like, okay, maybe not month, each passing year, especially if we keep him going forward. It's just like, okay, like, is it going to be now when he falls off? Is it going to be now when he falls off? Because like, again, we're talking about a 35-year-old guard. Like, how many guards like, look at Mike Conley this year. Mike Conley fell off the face of the earth this year, and he was pretty good last year. It's just like, there was a one time when Mike Conley was better than Jrue Holiday in the NBA. Like,
all right, let me just give you the quick rundown. Shot 35% from three last season. Not what one of you said before. 44 from the field, solid. 4.3 rebounds, 3.9 assists. Not exactly what you would think from a point guard, but he averaged like 7 in Milwaukee, so we can't fault him too much for that. 1.1 steals a game, 0.4 blocks, but honestly, stats a little worse than the year before, which is a little concerning. Pretty much better in every statistic last season, especially the splits were really down last year compared to the Boston championship year. He went from 48 from the field to 44, and then 3-pointers 43 to 35. So that's not what you like to see, unfortunately. I'm just stating the facts, but
yeah.
But the defense is still there. With the steals
Did he
and
make an
blocks.
All NBA or All Defense team this year? I don't even know.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Actually, I could be wrong about that.
You want to hear the Blazers free agent list this year?
And I really don't.
Well, it's Matisse Thybulle, Jabari Walker, Rupert, Banton, Minaya, and Bryce McGowan's. Who, and who?
Give Matisse though. He came back, got that game-winning block in April.
Yeah, we should trade Matisse.
I don't know.
Weird. It's a weird trade for sure, and it's definitely going to be one of those where when we pod 5 days from now, or probably 3 days from now, recapping the draft, like probably could have a totally more different tune. But it's a really hard trade to figure out what you feel about it because like we don't know Simons' value, we don't know what we're going to do with Jrue, and we don't know what we will be able to do with Jrue 2 years from now if we still have him or something. It's
so someone said it reminds him of Houston getting Fred VanVleet and Dylan Brooks on bigger salaries that could be used to make a move later for an impact guy. Because if you want to trade for a big guy, you have to have the money to do it.
Well, Fred is still on the Rockets today, but
He's Dylan Brooks.
No, but he had an okay season. Fred,
it's just it's just hard to compare, man. Like 35 for a guard is so scary. Like those are guys that were like probably 28, 29. It's.
I will say it's not like we traded Scoot or Shaden. We traded Simons. We already knew everything that. I'm gonna be honest. I think Simons peaked. I really do.
Scoot. I'm just surveying the scene here. Like if say we tried to trade Scoot and tried to trade Simons, Scoot has more value than Simons, right?
I think so, just because he's younger.
Yeah,
that's
just because he's younger. Yeah, I would agree. But it's interesting. I think Sharp definitely has the most value out of everybody.
Simons arguably had a down year compared to the year before, arguably. But
yeah, I definitely think. I mean, it may be hard to tell right now, but if Simons were to get plugged in the Jrue spot and Tatum was healthy, it definitely takes a hit defensively, Boston, but like Heat would probably put up some crazy shooting numbers because like you were saying, like him getting looks off of Simons has never played with like that type of team.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like,
but again,
the
like
best team he was on was 2019. Wow, he's the last guy from the 2019 team. That's
is
crazy.
Simons like, I don't know, bro. Like, is his defense like, are the Celtics going to play him a lot in the playoffs?
Yeah. He's probably, I don't know if he'll start,
I
but
mean, I guess
He'll
Tatum's out,
probably
but it's
start.
like
they'll probably keep
Derek
Pritchard
White,
on the bench.
Brown.
We didn't even say just the emotional fact about it. Like, I'm going to miss Simons, man. Like,
yeah, like that is
Dude, he's going to
longest
be
tenured
in
Blazer.
green. He's going to be in a Celtics jersey.
I love the
It's so
Celtics.
weird.
I'm so pumped, honestly, to watch him there. But it's just like,
All right.
Simon's our guy, you know?
So looking at I just posted on the Rip City Rundown Instagram. I'm curious to see just what the Instagram people say. 64 comments in 55 minutes. That's got to be a record for a post for us. So he said, didn't we already have Jrue Holiday once? We have to have trade lined up for Jeremy Grant. No way we take on that money for nothing. Jrue is there because they want Sharp Scoot into the same type of player. What is Cronin doing? Trade Jrue an 11th pick to either move up or get a younger player that fits the timeline. Now, what would you say if we traded Jrue in 11 to like San Antonio or Philly and moved up to the top 3? That'd be interesting, but probably that'd be weird at the same time.
No, that's exactly a type of move where it'd be like, I'd be down for that. Like, just
here's the thing. Like, I want. This is where it's like I feel like I'm getting pulled in two directions. Like, I want a Jrue type of player on the team, and I want us to like. I'm happy. I said in previous pods, like I want to make the move for like the somewhat vet, but I didn't want like the vet. Like, and that's maybe where I'm too picky. But like, it would be a totally different story if we're talking about like 31, 32-year-old Jrue.
No, like you've heard it. This is probably my third time saying it. Like, black and white. Like, I do not want him to play on our team. I think it's going to be bad if we kept him for 2 years. So I'm gonna stand by that. But it's a move that could trade. What? Yeah. What's funny?
Well, I think that's it. Again, if you want to hear more, like not in depth, we went pretty in depth here. I mean, we're at like 45-ish minutes, but probably more just thoughts settled in more. Come back for our pod.
After the draft.
We might have a pod come out tomorrow as well too, previewing the draft, but because we obviously didn't talk about that today.
Yeah, that's another thing. Talk about the.
I was not expecting that trade. That is just
right before the draft. Draft in 3 days. It's crazy.
Tomorrow, if you're on the East Coast.
Oh, my bad.
Technically, 2 days though. But that'll do it for the pod, guys. Let us know in the comments how you feel about it. Try to take the emotion out of it. Obviously, moving on from the longest tenured Blazer is just always a sad thing. But Jrue Holiday is a Blazer for the second time. Does he finally get a game in a Blazer uniform?
Does he finally put a minute? We'll see.
I wonder what the line on that is. But thanks for watching, guys. See you guys next time. Peace.